Hello everyone, I hope you're having a wonderful day. Today we're diving into a powerful story of love, betrayal, and resilience. Alex's heartbreaking discovery that Henry is not his son, the mysterious appearance of another man at Tu Na's farm, and the emotional journey that follows as the truth unfolds. Will Alex's love be strong enough to overcome the pain, or will this revelation tear them apart forever? Stay with us to uncover every twist in this emotional tale. And if you enjoy this video, don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you won't miss any of our upcoming stories. The morning air was crisp, carrying with it the faint fragrance of dew-soaked grass. The farm stretched before Alex like a canvas painted with light. But the beauty of dawn did little to calm the storm raging inside him. For weeks his heart had clung to hope, believing that love and truth would keep him and Tu Na bound together. But this morning, something felt different. He didn't know why, only that an unseen weight pressed on him, slowing his steps as he drove toward the farmhouse. He parked the car, stepped out, and let his eyes search for the familiar warmth of Tu Na's presence. Instead, his gaze froze on a figure he had never seen before. A man in a sharp, perfectly tailored suit emerged from the house, his polished shoes tapping softly against the earth. The stranger carried himself with quiet authority, each step deliberate, as though he belonged there. Alex's breath caught in his throat, his mind churned with questions. Who is he? Why is he here? His chest tightened as jealousy surged through him like waves crashing against fragile rock. The breeze brushed his face, carrying the scent of hay and fresh soil. Yet for Alex, it felt like a bitter reminder that the world he thought he knew was slipping away. The man didn't look back. He simply adjusted his jacket, slipped into a sleek black car, and drove away. Dust swirled in his wake, rising like the confusion swelling inside Alex, his fists clenched at his sides, nails digging into his palms. Is Tu Na hiding something from me? The thought cut deeper than any wound. The farm hummed with life, roosters crowed, cattle shifted in their pens, and birds sang from the trees. But without Tu Na's laughter echoing from the porch, the place felt empty. It lacked the glow she always brought, as though the moon had been stolen from the night sky. Alex stood still, his body rooted in place while his heart twisted between doubt and loyalty. The morning sunlight poured over his shoulders, painting him in gold, but inside he was shadow. He wanted to believe in her, to trust her, yet the image of the stranger's calm departure refused to leave his mind. Finally, he moved forward, each step heavy but determined. He knew he had to face whatever truth awaited him, no matter how much it hurt. His love for Tu Na was too deep, too consuming, to let fear silence him. If it's just a misunderstanding, why does it ache like betrayal? When he reached the farmhouse door, he paused. His knuckles hovered above the wood, trembling slightly. He could hear faint sounds from within. Henry's soft giggles, Tu Na's voice cooing gently to the child. For a fleeting moment, his heart softened. That sound, that love in her tone, was everything he wanted. But then the stranger's face returned in his mind, and the doubt struck once more. He pushed the door open. Inside, Tu Na sat by the window with Henry on her lap. The child's small hands reached for her hair, tugging with innocent delight. Sunlight framed them like a sacred painting. She looked up, startled at Alex's sudden entrance, but her lips quickly curved into a smile. "You're early," she said softly. Alex struggled to return her smile. His eyes darted to Henry, then back to her. The storm inside refused to quiet. "I saw someone leaving," he said, his voice steady but carrying an edge of tension. "Who was he?" Tu Na froze. For the briefest second, her eyes flickered with something. Hesitation, fear, maybe guilt. Then she lowered her gaze to Henry, as if the child could shield her from the weight of his question. "He's someone from the past," she murmured. The words struck Alex harder than any confession could. Someone from the past. He felt the floor shift beneath him. The thought he had tried to bury clawed its way back. Henry might not be his son. Silence thickened between them, broken only by the child's laughter. Henry's tiny hands clapped together, oblivious to the storm consuming the adults around him. Alex's chest rose and fell, each breath a battle. He had loved Henry as his own from the moment he first held him, but now doubt tainted that love like poison in water. "Tuna," Alex said, his voice low, almost pleading. "I need to know the truth. Is he mine?" Tuna's hands tightened around the boy, her knuckles white. Her eyes shimmered with tears as she finally lifted her gaze to meet his. In that moment, Alex already knew the answer, but he needed to hear it. "No," she whispered. The word shattered him. His knees felt weak, as though the very foundation of his life had crumbled. He staggered back, clutching the edge of the table to steady himself. His heart, once so full of hope, now cracked under the weight of betrayal. The air grew heavy, pressing down on him until he could barely breathe. Memories flooded his mind. Nights spent dreaming of a family, mornings waking beside her, the future he had painted in his imagination. All of it fractured in an instant. "Who is he?" Alex's voice shook, but beneath the trembling was a fire that demanded answers. Tuna's lips parted, then closed again. Her silence was louder than any confession. Alex's eyes darkened. "The man I saw?" he pressed. "Was it him? Is he Henry's father?" Tears spilled down her cheeks. She nodded. The room fell silent, save for Henry's innocent giggles. Alex's chest heaved, torn between rage and despair. His gaze lingered on the boy, so small, so fragile, so blameless. Love for the child warred with the agony of betrayal, leaving him adrift in chaos. Tuna tried to reach for his hand, but he pulled away. "Alex," she said, her voice trembling, "please, listen to me. It was a mistake, something I never meant to hide. I was afraid of losing you, afraid you'd walk away if you knew the truth, but I love you. I've always loved you." Her words fell like rain on scorched earth. He wanted to believe them, wanted to cling to the love they had built, but doubt gnawed at him relentlessly. If she loved me, why didn't she trust me? Alex turned away, staring out the window at the fields beyond. The farm, once a place of peace, now seemed foreign. The laughter of birds mocked him. The sunlight burned instead of warmed. "I don't know if I can," he whispered. His voice was barely audible, but it carried the weight of a broken soul. Behind him, Tuna's sobs filled the room. Henry squirmed in her arms, sensing the tension but too young to understand. Alex closed his eyes, feeling the sting of tears he refused to shed. This was the moment everything changed. The truth had been revealed, and with it came a choice: to walk away and let the betrayal consume him, or to face the pain and fight for the love that still tethered him to Tuna. He didn't know which path he would take. Not yet. But one thing was certain: the storm inside him had only just begun. Alex stood at the window, staring at the fields stretching endlessly under the morning sun. Each blade of grass seemed to whisper the same painful truth. Henry was not his child. His reflection in the glass looked like a stranger. Haunted eyes, tight jaw, shoulders heavy with a grief too vast to name. Behind him, Tuna's sobs echoed in the small room. The sound pierced him, yet he could not turn around. Love still lived in his chest, but it was tangled in anger and disbelief. He wanted to shout, to demand explanations, yet his voice felt trapped in his throat. Minutes passed like hours. Finally, Alex spoke, his tone low but steady. "Tell me everything. No more secrets." "Tuna, who is he?" Tuna wiped her tears, her face pale with fear. She looked down at Henry, then back at Alex. His name is Daniel. We met before you came back into my life. It was brief, a mistake, but it left me with Henry. When I realized I was pregnant, Daniel had already disappeared. I thought he was gone forever. I didn't tell you because I was afraid the truth would destroy us. Alex's fists clenched. The name felt foreign, but the face of the man in the suit returned with vivid clarity. Calm steps, confident posture, the air of someone who had come to claim something or someone that mattered. He's not gone, Alex said bitterly. I saw him leave this house today. Don't tell me it was just coincidence. Tu Na shook her head, tears streaming anew. He found us, Alex. He came back. He says he wants to be part of Henry's life. I didn't know how to tell you. I panicked. The room grew colder, though sunlight streamed through the window. Alex turned, eyes fixed on Henry. The boy giggled, reaching out with tiny hands, innocent and unaware of the chaos swirling around him. Alex's heart ached. Despite everything, he loved this child. That love made the betrayal cut deeper, like a knife twisted slowly in his chest. He wants to be part of Henry's life, Alex repeated. The words tasted bitter. And what about me, Tu Na? What am I supposed to be now? The man who raised another's son, the fool who thought love could erase the past. Tu Na stepped forward, desperation in her eyes. No, Alex, you're not a fool. You're the man I love. You've given Henry more than Daniel ever could. Blood doesn't make a father, love does. You are his father in every way that matters. Her words struck something deep within him, but they did not heal the wound. Instead, they left him, suspended between rage and longing. He wanted to believe her, to hold on to the bond they had built, but trust, once broken, was not easily restored. That night, Alex couldn't sleep. He walked through the fields, the moon casting silver light across the land. Each step echoed with the weight of decisions he had yet to make. The image of Daniel haunted him, sharp suit, confident eyes, a man who had returned to reclaim what Alex thought was his. By dawn, Alex knew he couldn't stay silent. He had to confront the truth face to face. 2 days later, fate granted him the chance. He found Daniel near the edge of the farm, standing with a quiet air of entitlement. Daniel turned as Alex approached, his gaze calm, almost challenging. You must be Alex, Daniel said smoothly, extending a hand. Alex ignored it. His eyes burned with questions, with hurt. Why are you here? Daniel didn't flinch. For my son? The words sliced through Alex like a blade. For a moment, rage threatened to consume him, but he forced himself to stay steady. Henry doesn't even know you. You've been gone his whole life. What gives you the right to show up now? Daniel's lips curved into something between a smile and a smirk. The right of a father. Blood, Alex? That's something you can't change. Alex's jaw tightened. Blood isn't everything. A father is the one who stays, the one who loves, the one who sacrifices. Where were you when Tu Na cried herself to sleep, terrified of raising a child alone? Where were you when Henry took his first steps, said his first words? You weren't here. I was. Daniel's eyes flickered just for a moment, but his composure returned quickly. You've done well, he admitted. But Henry deserves to know where he came from. He deserves to know me. Alex's chest heaved with anger, but also with sorrow. Deep down, he knew Henry had a right to the truth. Yet the thought of sharing him with Daniel, with this stranger who had abandoned Tu Na, was unbearable. That night, Alex sat on the porch with Tu Na. The silence between them was heavy, but it carried something new. The unspoken understanding that they faced a crossroads. What do we do now? She asked softly, her eyes red from crying. Alex looked at her, at the woman he loved, the woman who had broken him yet still held his heart in her hands. I don't know, he admitted. I can't pretend this doesn't hurt. I can't just forget. but I also can't walk away. Not from you, not from Henry. Tears welled in her eyes. She reached for his hand. This time, he let her take it. Their fingers intertwined, fragile yet desperate for connection. "Then we fight," Tu Na whispered. "For us, for Henry. We face Daniel together. He may be Henry's biological father, but he will never replace you." Alex's eyes softened. Hope flickered in the ashes of his despair. He knew the road ahead would not be easy. There would be battles, both in his heart and against Daniel's claim. But as he looked at Tu Na, as he felt her hand tighten around his, he realized love was worth fighting for, even against the sharpest pain. The farm stretched out before them, bathed in moonlight. It was the same land where Alex had once dreamed of a future, and though that dream had cracked, it was not destroyed. Somewhere within the fracture, new strength could grow. In the days that followed, Alex began to rebuild not just the farm, but his heart. He worked the fields with renewed determination, finding solace in the rhythm of labor. Each sunrise reminded him that life moved forward, whether he was ready or not. Tu Na stood by his side, not asking for forgiveness, but showing it through every gesture, every word of support. Slowly, the distance between them began to close. Henry remained the light in their lives, his laughter a balm that softened even the hardest days. Alex couldn't look at the boy without feeling the sting of betrayal, but he also couldn't imagine life without him. And perhaps that was the answer. Not to erase the pain, but to live with it. To let love be stronger than blood. When Daniel returned again, Alex was ready. He stood tall, no longer trembling with doubt. "You may be his biological father," Alex said firmly, meeting Daniel's gaze without fear. "But I am the one who has been here. I am the one Henry calls when he cries in the night, the one who teaches him to walk, to speak, to live. You cannot erase that." Daniel studied him for a long moment, then gave a small nod. For the first time, his eyes softened. "Perhaps," he said quietly, "that makes you the better man." As Daniel walked away, Alex felt the storm within him begin to calm. It would never disappear completely, but it no longer controlled him. He turned back toward the farmhouse where Tu Na waited with Henry in her arms. In that moment, Alex understood. Love was not about perfection or blood or even trust unbroken. Love was about choosing to stay, to forgive, to fight, even when the heart had been shattered. And Alex chose Tu Na, he chose Henry. He chose to build a future from the fragments of pain, stronger than before. The dawn rose once more over the farm, golden and serene, and though scars remained, hope burned brighter, like sunlight breaking through the last of the storm. Alex arrives at Tu Na's farm with hope in his heart, only to be shaken by the sight of a mysterious man leaving her house. Questions swirl, and the truth soon shatters him. Henry, the child he has loved as his own, is not his biological son. The stranger, Daniel, is the real father, returning to claim a place in Henry's life. Caught between anger, betrayal, and his enduring love for Tu Na, Alex struggles to accept the painful reality. Yet even in heartbreak, he cannot walk away from the woman and child who mean everything to him. As he confronts Daniel, Alex must decide if love is stronger than blood and if forgiveness can heal the wounds of the past. This is a story of pain, choice, and the courage to fight for love.